Rogueloops is an upcoming roguelite action game developed by Fubu Games, slated for release in Q2 2025. The game centers on a family trapped in an endless loop, battling to escape by combining unique skills and relics to create powerful synergies against the loop's guardians. A demo version of Rogueloops was released last month, offering players a glimpse into its gameplay mechanics. Initial impressions highlight the game's smooth performance, appealing graphics, and engaging controller support. Players appreciate the mechanic where choosing a buff also introduces a corresponding danger in the room, adding a strategic layer to the gameplay. The game's visual clarity during combat has been praised, with some noting its resemblance to titles like Hades and Children of Morta. The combination of skills and relics allows for the creation of powerful synergies, enhancing the depth and replayability of the game. For those interested in experiencing Rogueloops firsthand, the demo is available on Steam. Players are encouraged to provide feedback to assist developers in refining the game ahead of its full release. Rogueloops, a thrilling roguelite adventure with strategic depth. Rogueloops, an exciting upcoming roguelite action game from Fubu Games, is set to launch in Q2 2025. This highly anticipated title follows a family trapped in an endless cycle, where survival depends on mastering unique skills and strategically combining relics. Players must navigate intense battles and outsmart the formidable loop guardians to break free from the cycle. Engaging gameplay with dynamic challenges. A demo version of Rogueloops was released last month, giving players an early look at its innovative mechanics. Early feedback highlights the game's fluid performance, captivating visual design, and seamless controller integration. One standout feature is the risk-reward system, where selecting a buff also introduces an associated hazard within the room, adding an extra layer of strategic decision-making. Each playthrough demands adaptability, ensuring no two runs feel identical. Stunning visuals and immersive combat. Players have praised Rogueloops for its visual clarity during combat, drawing comparisons to acclaimed titles like Hades and Children of Morta. The game's aesthetic enhances the fast-paced action, ensuring players can track their movements and attacks even in chaotic battles. The beautifully crafted environments and enemy designs further immerse players in the game's mysterious world. Atmospheric lighting effects, dynamic particle systems, and meticulously detailed character animations contribute to the game's striking visual presentation. Skill and relic combinations for endless replayability. The synergy between skills and relics creates limitless possibilities, allowing players to experiment with various builds to suit their playstyle. This deep customization system significantly enhances the game's replay value, ensuring that each run feels fresh and rewarding. The strategic depth of skill combinations allows players to develop powerful tactics that can turn the tide of battle. Each relic offers unique buffs that synergize differently depending on the skills chosen, meaning players can craft multiple playstyles, from aggressive melee brawlers to precise ranged tacticians. Rogueloops' expansive world and lore. Beyond its engaging combat mechanics, Rogueloops features a rich narrative that unfolds as players progress. Each loop reveals fragments of the family's history and the enigmatic forces that keep them trapped. The blend of storytelling and action offers an emotional and immersive experience, making every victory feel meaningful. Players will encounter cryptic messages, lore-filled artifacts, and mysterious NPCs that provide hints about the nature of the loop and how it came to be. As the game progresses, choices made during playthroughs may influence narrative elements, unlocking multiple endings and deepening the player's connection to the world. Innovative enemy AI and evolving challenges. Rogueloops introduces intelligent enemy AI that adapts to player strategies, making battles increasingly challenging. The loop guardians evolve with each encounter, forcing players to refine their tactics and adapt to new attack patterns. Mini-bosses and elite enemies bring additional depth, requiring precise dodging, countering, and strategic use of relics to overcome their formidable strength. Try the demo and shape the future of Rogueloops. For those eager to experience Rogue Loops firsthand, the demo is currently available on Steam. Players are encouraged to share their feedback to help the developers fine-tune the game ahead of its full release. Dive into the loop, test your strategies, and prepare for one of the most compelling roguelite adventures of 2025. Stay tuned for more updates as Rogue Loops approaches its official launch. Get ready to master the loop, uncover the secrets hidden within its ever-changing world, and experience an unparalleled roguelite adventure filled with depth, challenge, and storytelling.